A mechanic at a power equipment dealership was asked one question on a professional forum. What push mower do you actually own? He has opened up more machines than most people have ever seen. He has replaced transmissions, spindle bearings, and deck components on every residential brand sold at every hardware store in the country. He has watched the same belts snap on the same models, season after season, the same call, the same repair, the same mower. His answer was not Craftsman, not Troy Built, not the machine with the Honda sticker on a plastic deck. He said, I know exactly what fails on every machine in that aisle. I am not buying any of them. He is not alone. Ask any mechanic who spends his days opening push mowers, and the pattern is identical. 3 machines, commercial engines, aluminum or fabricated steel decks, none of them on a single retail shelf anywhere. Most homeowners never know they exist. There are 2 ways to build a push mower. The first way is to engineer it to a price point. Stamp a deck from a single sheet of thin gauge steel. Install an engine specified to survive 3 seasons. Use a plastic gear transmission that works fine until it does not. Hit the number the retailer needs and put it on the floor in April. The second way is to engineer it to an hours target. Fabricate the deck from aluminum alloy or heavier steel. Install an engine with a cast iron sleeve and a real filtration system. Seal the transmission so it does not become the reason the machine gets written off before year 5. Transmission failure is the single most common reason a mid-tier push mower never sees its 5th season. None of the 3 machines on this list are sold at a big box store. That is not a limitation. That is the point. Most people who own a Honda push mower own the HRX. It is a decent machine. It is not this machine. The HRC 2196 is Honda's commercial walk-behind. The difference between it and the residential lineup is not a badge or a color. It is what is inside the engine and under the deck. The GX V160 is a commercial-grade engine. Cast iron cylinder sleeve. Ball bearing supported crankshaft. 2-stage air filtration system. Those are not marketing terms. The cast iron sleeve survives the heat cycles that warp aluminum bore residential engines over time. The 2-stage filter keeps running in dust and debris conditions that slowly choke a standard residential unit from the inside out. These are components that get omitted when an engine is designed to hit a retail price. They are present here because this engine was not designed to hit a retail price. The deck is a 21-inch heavy-duty steel construction with reinforced side guards running along the edges. It is not stamped from a single thin sheet. It is not plastic. It is not a cost reduction decision dressed up with a label. Then there is the micro-cut twin blade system. 2 blades, 4 cutting surfaces running at the same time. The clippings come out fine enough that bagging capacity increases by up to 30% compared to a single blade mower. That is not a small number. That is the difference between stopping to empty a bag twice per lawn and stopping once. Over a full day of work, that time adds up in a way that residential mower owners never think to calculate. The HRC 2196 HXA variant adds a commercial hydrostatic transmission with infinitely variable speed control from 2.1 to 4 miles per hour. It also includes Honda's roto-stop system. Stop the blades without killing the engine. Move an obstacle. Cross a driveway. Empty the bag. The engine keeps running. That feature does not exist on any mower under $600. You will not find the HRC 206 at a hardware store. It sits at independent Honda power equipment dealers, on the same floor where professional crews source parts for machines running 5 days a week. Pricing runs $1,500 to $1,900, depending on the variant. Most people who buy it never buy another push mower. Toro sells mowers at big box stores. That needs to be said clearly before anything else, because the Toro Commercial 21st is a completely different product from anything Toro puts on a retail floor. Confusing the two is an easy mistake. It is also a costly one. Models 22,295 through 22,298. Sold through independent dealers only. not on a seasonal pallet, not marked down in April. The deck is corrosion-resistant aluminum alloy. It does not rust. It resists the impact, cracking, that splits stamped steel decks after a few seasons of hitting roots and rocks at full blade speed. On the underside, there is a replaceable steelware plate. When that plate takes damage, you replace the plate. Not the deck, not the machine, just the plate. That design decision alone separates this mower from virtually everything sold at retail. The front of the deck carries a tubular steel engine guard. The handlebar runs steel cable guards along the full length of the control cables. On cheaper machines, those cables are unprotected. They abrade. They fray. They snap. On this machine, that conversation does not happen. Engine options are a Honda GX-V160 or a Kawasaki FJ180V, both commercial rated, both the same powertrain families running on professional landscaping equipment operated by multi-crew companies across the country. The transmission is sealed, maintenance-free, 3-speed rear-wheel drive. Mechanics flag the sealed drivetrain specifically. Transmission failure is the most common reason a mid-tier push mower gets written off before its 5th year. The sealed unit is the direct engineering answer to that failure mode. Select models include the blade brake clutch system. Disengage the blades without stopping the engine. Same operational logic as the Honda Roto Stop. The machine keeps running. Professional landscapers have documented completing 15 residential lawns in a single day with the Toro Commercial 21, a quarter-acre lot, edging, trimming, and blowing in under 30 minutes. That benchmark is not achievable on a residential grade mower. Pricing runs $1,400 to $1,700 at independent dealer retail. Toro has a retail product and a commercial product. They share a name. They do not share an engineering standard. That distinction is worth knowing before you buy. Exmark was founded in Beatrice, Nebraska in 1983. If you have spent any time watching professional lawn care crews work a large commercial property, you have almost certainly seen an Exmark Zero turn on that trailer. The brand is a default for serious commercial operators, the same way certain tool brands become defaults for tradespeople. You see enough of them running hard day after day, and you stop questioning the choice. The Commercial 21st is Exmark's walk behind. It carries the same engineering philosophy that runs their full commercial zero-turn fleet at over 1,500 hours without major failures. The deck is a 5-inch deep die-cast aluminum cutting chamber. 5 inches of depth is what builds the AIR column that lifts grass before the blade reaches it. That air column is the difference between a clean, even cut and strips of uncut grass left behind in thick or wet conditions. It is the detail most homeowners never think to ask about, and the first thing a mechanic notices: 0 grease points, none. On a comparable walk behind from a retail brand, there are grease fittings that require attention on a regular schedule. Miss that schedule and the bearings fail. It is one of the most consistent repair patterns mechanics see every season. Exmark eliminated the requirement entirely. There is nothing to miss because there is nothing to service. The total parts count on the Commercial 21 is less than half that of comparable walk-behind mowers in the same class. Fewer parts means fewer failure points. Open one up on a workbench next to a retail mower, and the difference is immediate. Every component present has a reason to be there. Nothing was added to hit a feature count on a box. The patented front height adjustment eliminates the pivot-style adjusters that loosen and fail on cheaper machines. No tools required. The engine is a Kawasaki FJ180V, the same commercial Kawasaki family running across Exmark's full professional zero-turn lineup. Variable ground speed runs from 0 to 4.2 miles per hour. You will find it at an independent Exmark dealer. Pricing runs from $1,800 to $2,600, depending on configuration. Not on sale in April. Not on a pallet. The mechanic already knows where to find it. Honda. Toro Commercial. Exmark. 3 different machines from 3 different manufacturers. The same answer from every mechanic who has spent years watching push mowers fail on the same schedule, for the same reasons, at the same repair counter. The decks are aluminum or fabricated steel, not stamped thin gauge sheet metal pressed to a retail price point and called durable on the packaging. The difference is not cosmetic, it is structural. It is the reason one deck cracks along the weld line in year 3, and the other one is still cutting clean in year 12. The engines are commercial rated, cast iron sleeves, proper multi-stage filtration, ball bearing crankshafts. These are components that get value engineered out of a residential engine to hit a number on a store shelf. They are present on these 3 machines because these machines were never designed for a store shelf. The transmissions are sealed or commercial grade, not the plastic geared drivetrain that arrives at the shop with the same stripped components every spring, owned by someone who thought 3 seasons of light use was not enough to wear out a transmission. It was. None of them are sold at a big box store. The buyer who finds these machines is the buyer who asked the right questions first. Pricing runs $1,400 to $2,600. That is 2 to 4 times the cost of what is sitting on the retail floor. The mechanic's math counts the belts, the transmission rebuilds, the decks that cracked before year 5. Over a decade, the cheap machine is not cheaper. Consumer push mowers are engineered to a price point. These 3 are engineered to an hours target. Open one up and you see it immediately. The mechanic from the forum did not go to Home Depot. He did not wait for the April sale. He found a dealer, asked the right questions, and bought once. Your neighbor bought the $400 machine. It needs a belt every other season. He is on his 3rd one in 8 years. The mechanic down the street is still on his 1st. That is the difference between a machine engineered to a price and a machine engineered to last. Find the dealer, sit on the machine, ask how many of his own brand he sees back in the shop. That answer is worth more than any floor display.